Welcome to the Around the Felt Sports 32-man mock draft. I'm your beloved commissioner, Drock, slamming it. We have 32 Felters who will be joining us tonight, selecting a player to their respective team's pick. So with that being said, the Tennessee Titans are on the clock. With the first pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Tennessee Titans select Cam Ward, quarterback, Miami.
What's going on, guys? Max with the Titans. So with the first overall pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Tennessee Titans select Cam Ward, quarterback, Miami. So before I go into the pick details, let's talk about the significance of the first overall pick and a first-round quarterback in general. When you have a relatively new head coach paired with a first-year GM, you want to find your franchise quarterback, of course. So you get a little impatient. But if you don't see this guy succeeding in your style of offense, which is Brian Callahan's offense that he brought from Cincinnati, then you can't draft Cam Ward. Like, if you don't see how that's going to pair out, then you got to pivot somewhere else. Now, it seems like, according to other drafts and according to everything we've heard online, that this is where he's going to go. Now, it's just a matter of how he's going to be paired and how he's going to time up with Callahan's offense. But getting into the pick, Cam Ward's exactly what the NFL quarterback's evolving to. He's a dual threat guy. He plays with good patience in the pocket. He has a strong pocket presence while also being able to drive the football and make tight, anticipating throws within the middle of the field, which is a lot of what Brian Callahan's offense demands, while also being able to get outside the pocket, be mobile, and be able to be comfortable when throwing on the run. So with that being said, Cam Ward, you are a Tennessee Titan.
With the second pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Cleveland Browns select Abdul Carter, linebacker, Penn State.
What's up, Felters? Logan here. GM of the Browns in this draft. Easy pick here. Abdul Carter, best player in the draft. Blessing to be getting him at number 2. Crazy speed off the edge, crazy motor. Unbelievable franchise player. Even better that you get to pair him with Myles Garrett. And then, that's just kind of easy pick there. And then I know we didn't do a round 2, but I'll give you a round 2 kind of bonus pick with, like a JT Tuimoloau. Get to pair Abdul Carter with JT Tuimoloau, someone like that who can stuff the middle like crazy. You saw the Eagles win a Super Bowl by building from the inside or building from the trenches. Why can't the Browns do it too? Get yourself a stud. Just start with Abdul Carter, and you already got Myles Garrett there, and rest is history. Super Bowl inbound.
With the third pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, my New York Giants select Travis Hunter, athlete, Colorado.
What's up, guys? Luke here with the New York Football Giants, the newly hired GM of the New York Football Giants. Sorry to my boys over at Around the Octagon. I will no longer be part of the podcast as I've moved on to bigger and better things. But let's get right into action. With the third pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the New York Football Giants will select Travis Hunter. I think, honestly, a lot of noise in the media. Obviously, New York being a big football town, big sports town overall. There's a lot of noise around this draft pick and this draft overall for the Giants. I think it's one of the easiest drafts in the last couple of years for the Giants. We've positioned ourselves very clearly to get the best overall player in the draft who's available at 3. And with Carter being gone and Cam Ward being gone, that leaves Hunter as the top guy. And Giants made this as simple as possible with the additions of Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston in the offseason to not have to rely on drafting a quarterback here and getting the best player available. I don't think there's enough to be said about how good Travis Hunter is at football. Can play both sides, position athlete. Not only is he a great corner with great ball hawking skills, maybe the best, ball skills we've seen in the past 5 years in the NFL draft, but also the ability to play wide receiver, open up an offense, hit the deep ball, be very involved in the slant game, be very involved in the screen game, and really help out a quarterback in any way possible. If you look at the Giants secondary, we added a lot of young pieces in last year's draft, along with some additions in this offseason, and obviously added some young guys on the offensive side in terms of Malik Neighbors and Tracy. So New York Football Giants are very excited to get Travis Hunter in and see what Brian Dable can do in terms of scheming up plays for him and letting him go wild on defense. So Travis Hunter, you are a New York Giant.
With the 4th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the New England Patriots select Will Campbell, tackle, LSU.
All right, yeah, Will Campbell is my pick at the 4th spot in the draft for the Patriots. I think it's the only guy that's going to be there on the board for them as the best overall player. Unfortunately, I think our dream of Hunter or Carter is not going to work out for us. But 6'6", 325, athletic kid, plays hard. I think it's the best pick for them. Left tackle, they need somebody to protect Drake May. So that's my pick at 4.
With the 5th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Jacksonville Jaguars select Will Johnson, defensive back, Michigan.
Hey guys, my name is Caleb. I'm the general manager of the Jacksonville Jaguars. And with the 5th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, we will be selecting Will Johnson out of Michigan. Now, to be honest, there's quite a number of holes to fill on this team. But in my opinion, I think we should aggressively pursue where we are lacking the most, and that's in pass defense. We allowed an average of 257 passing yards per game last year, 29 passing touchdowns on top of that. A guy like Will Johnson's really going to come in and help us out on the edge there, protecting those routes. And, I mean, Johnson, he's an explosive guy. He's returned 3 of his 9 career interceptions for touchdowns, and that's what we love. We love the ability to create disruption, and that's what we're going to find here in Will Johnson. Mr. Johnson, welcome to Jacksonville.
With the 6th pick
in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Las Vegas Raiders select Ashton, Jeanty, running back, Boise State.
How you guys doing? Dave, the owner of the Raiders here. I think with the 6th pick, we're going to go with Ashton, Jeanty. We were last in yards per carry last year and also rushing yards per game. So I think, we need to spice up our offense a little bit, bring in an explosive player like Jeanty to kind of, expand our offense. We were kind of pass dominated last year, and bringing in Geno Smith, I think, is really going to help our passing offense, give Brock Bowers, Jacoby Myers, additional targets, but also, help them get additional steps on, outside linebackers, some of those corners, some of those safeties with the threat of Jeanty in the backfield, and obviously have Jeanty being able to, catch and run the ball, make explosive plays. He's really going to just explode the Raiders offense this season, kind of help bring up that points per game and hopefully win some ball games for us. So excited to have him and excited to see what he can do.
With the 7th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the New York Jets select Armand Membou, tackle, Missouri.
This is Ryan, Jets GM. The 7th pick, we're going Armand Membou, tackle from Missouri. He very clearly fills a gap in right tackle that the Jets need. And he's an athletic freak. 3 years starting in the SEC, only allowed three sacks. And that's pretty much it for me, man. He fills a void that the Jets need. Could have gone Tyler Warren, but I think they're going to play it safe and go beef up the line with Membou.
With the 8th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Carolina Panthers select Jalon Walker, linebacker, Georgia.
All right, welcome back. As the general manager of the Carolina Panthers, with the 8th pick, we are going to bring Jalon Walker, linebacker out of Georgia, down to the Queen City in Charlotte, right in my backyard. Fired up about this pick. It's a guy who can do it all, can drop back in coverage, can blitz the passer, and will really allow our run defense to be a little bit more relaxed, put some pressure on the opposing quarterback, and just gives us that boom or bust play style that we have not seen in a linebacker since Luke Kuechly. Keep pounding.
With the 9th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the New Orleans Saints select Shedeur Sanders, quarterback, Colorado.
Hey guys, Shane from Benchwarmer Banter here, joining the Around the Felt mock draft. And I had the pleasure of drafting for the New Orleans Saints at 9, and I drafted Shedeur Sanders. Could not believe he was available with the 9th pick. I love Derek Carr. He's not getting it done. The Saints are in this quarterback turmoil as of late. I could give you 100 different stats for it, but it was plain as day last season. And on top of that, Shedeur Sanders just brings an aura with him. He brings an era of football. This will be bust or success. It's going to be a memorable era of football, like Johnny Manziel entering the league, like big names entering the league. Shedeur's a personality. Everybody knows Shedeur. Shedeur's a household name if you're a college football fan. And just off his name alone, had to draft him at 9. And also, I don't believe him to be a bust. I see him being a very successful quarterback in the league, even without his father. And I see his father doing great things at Colorado. Shedeur did great things at Colorado. And I'm really hoping they draft him at 9. I hope I'm right. And I just think this is a can't-miss pick by the Saints.
With the 10th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Chicago Bears select Omarion, Hampton, running back, North Carolina.
What's up, guys? Nick Chambers here, GM of the Bears. So we're here to address the draft. We went with Hampton here. So we'll start with the running game last year. I don't think it's where it needed to be. The offensive line could have been better, but I think you got to look at who's running the ball too. And that's Swift, 250 plus touches, didn't break that 1,000-yard mark that we wanted to see. He can make somebody miss an open field, but he doesn't break a ton of tackles, right? So I think the running back room is something that needed to be addressed to really get this offense going, right? We have Caleb for a reason. We want to put the pieces around him to succeed. So we wanted Jeanty here. Jeanty's not here. So next best thing is Hampton, right? You look at his college tape, 2023 had a strong season. Went for 1,700 all-purpose yards, 16 touchdowns, followed it up with a great campaign in 2024. Went for 2,000 all-purpose yards, 17 touchdowns. So this kid's super talented, big frame, 6 foot, 220. He's got that 4.4 speed, that breakaway speed that we wanted to see as well. Could break a bunch of tackles, catch the ball out of the backfield well. So I think Hampton's a great pick here. Some may argue maybe 10's a little too high for Hampton. I don't think so. I would argue that there's not a ton of blue chip prospects in this draft. So I like Hampton here. I'm not mad about it. I'm excited to see where he's going to take this team, and Hampton's our guy.
With the 11th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the San Francisco 49ers select Mason Graham, defensive tackle, Michigan.
Hey, everybody. I'm Gallo. I'm the GM of the 49ers here. With the 11th pick, we're picking Mason Graham, the defensive tackle out of Michigan. If we're being honest, we didn't really expect him to be here. I know he, was more blocked at the 5, 6 to 7 range. I think something that we learned last year is that when you prioritize the defensive line, it works out in your favor. I know that, Big Bob Salah is really looking forward to getting back with the 49ers as a D coordinator, being able to pair up Mason Graham with Joey Bosa. We are trying to start from the ground up, kind of similar to how Howie Roseman and the Eagles did it. So very much looking forward to having Mason Graham on the team.
With the 12th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Dallas Cowboys, select Tet McMillan, wide receiver, Arizona.
What's up, everyone? It's the real GM of the Cowboys. Fuck Jerry Jones. My pick is Tet McMillan. I think that with us losing Brandon Cooks and then really having Jalen Tolbert, who's been a mid receiver at best, it'd make perfect sense to get Tet McMillan. Kid has an insane catch radius. He's 6'4", really takes off a lot of pressure off of Tet McMillan or CeeDee Lamb, I should say. And I think it'll give Dak another option. He's been pretty well with, 2 receivers when he had Amari Cooper and CeeDee Lamb. So makes perfect sense to go receiver there. Wouldn't be mad if there was a running back, but I think if Tet's there, he's the highest value at that pick. And Dallas historically likes to do that with picks like CeeDee Lamb and Micah Parsons in the past. So Tet McMillan to the Cowboys.
With the 13th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Miami Dolphins select Jahdae Barron, defensive back, Texas.
Red Con over here, coming at you live from South Beach, Miami, for the Miami Dolphins. With the 13th pick, we're going to be taking Jahdae Barron out of Texas. Kind of the rationale here, right, is in the era in which passing has kind of taken over the league. It seems like more so every single year. Look at all the receiving cores around the league. We need some dogs down in Miami, right? I was thinking of this pick anyway, even before the Jalen Ramsey news. Not that Jalen Ramsey's going to be out. There's not a ton of depth down there at corner, and frankly, not a lot of talent either, right? So this is kind of a plug and play. Not the sexiest pick. He's a big time playmaker, but it's just, it's an absolute dire need now. It's already a need. Now it's an absolute dire need. He's kind of plug and play, super versatile player. Can come to the line, make some tackles in the run game. Can play the nickel, can play outside. And like in a division, right, where we're going to be playing Josh Allen the next 10 plus years, you got Lamar who tossed a little bit in addition to his running. You got Mahomes tossing the rock around. Got Burrow. Like, you need guys who can lock guys up. Would have been nice to have Jalon, but in this era where Jalen's going to be leaving now, we need a playmaker, and I think Barron can do that, right? Pretty physical guy, can kind of provide that run support from the corner, which is pretty rare. And in Anthony Weaver's defense, you're going to need a guy who can do a lot. So I think that's him, and hopefully going to be a starter from day one. It can be a dog and bring some toughness down to Miami, which we've been lacking pretty heavily the last few years. So excited about this one. Excited to see what he can do.
With the 14th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Indianapolis Colts select Tyler Warren, tight end, Penn State.
What's up, everyone? This is Zach with the Indianapolis Colts. We are pumped up to bring in a talent like Tyler Warren to Indianapolis and get to work. What were we looking for in this draft? Best player available, and this happened to be at a position of need for us. It became obvious that we needed to bring in some talent and some weapons to surround Anthony and Daniel, and Tyler Warren is definitely that. He will add another layer of physicality and help out in the run game. Let's go Indianapolis. Let's get after it.
With the 15th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Atlanta Falcons select Mike Green, defensive end, Marshall.
Yes, the Falcons are going to be taking Mike Green here, edge rusher out of Marshall. I made this pick for the Falcons because they desperately need edge help. Their defense was second to last in the league last year in sacks. This Falcons team is ready to win. It's a pretty loaded roster, but they have a significant need on the pass rush. They could have gone corner here as well, but I think Mike Green's one of the best players still on the board for them. It could be a home run pick for them. Mike Green led the whole nation in sacks last year with 17. He's a guy that transferred into Marshall for his last season. He came from Virginia, and that was one of the best things he could have done because he significantly raised his floor and showed what he can do as a pass rusher. He's a guy that was actually recruited to be a wide receiver and ended up playing linebacker at Virginia, and now he's an edge rusher. So he still has a lot to learn, and you saw like what he can really do. If that's him and his base form getting 17 sacks with still only being an edge rusher for maybe a year or two, I think the Falcons defense, they just signed their old defensive coordinator back over from the Jets. He's a guy who's gotten a lot out of pass rushers before. So I think this would be a great landing spot for him. He could easily start day one for this team and hopefully fix the pass rush situation they got going on.
With the 16th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Arizona Cardinals select Shemar Stewart, defensive end, Texas A&M.
What's going on, everyone? It's Colin here, the general manager of the Arizona Cardinals for this 32-man mock draft. My pick was Shemar Stewart, considering a couple reasons. Number one, the Arizona Cardinals defense desperately needs some more juice on the edge. I don't think Zaven Collins or Darius Robinson are going to hold you back from taking an edge rusher in the first round here. I do like the additions of Calais Campbell and Dalvin Tomlinson on the interior, but there's no doubt that pass rush definitely needs more juice. And they also added Josh Sweat on the other side, right? So now you really feel confident in that defensive line for the first time in a long time. Second, a guy like Shemar Stewart, who had one of the highest relative athletic scores in combine history at the edge rusher position, those guys just don't fall. It just does not happen. They always get pushed higher up the board. So a guy with the tools like Stewart, although the production was not always there at Texas A&M, he's going to get picked high. I think it's a great fit with the Cardinals. I thought about offensive line here and defensive back. Jahdae Barron would have been in play, but he's off the board here, and I don't want to reach for an offensive lineman. So Shemar Stewart was my pick.
With the 17th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Cincinnati Bengals select Jihaad Campbell, linebacker, Alabama. Roll Tide.
What's up? Mike here, GM of the Bengals. We're going with the 17th pick here. We're going to take Jihaad Campbell. We like Jihaad Campbell because he's fast, he's explosive, only 21 years old, 3 years and out in college. He had 119 tackles last year with 5 sacks. He is having shoulder surgery, so we're a little worried about that, but we think he has the potential to be a game changer on defense that we need right now. We were 25th in true defense last year. We ranked 11th in missed tackles. So we definitely have holes on defense that we need to fill. We are looking for a nickel corner as well, or a pass rusher we could use as well. But we think Jihaad Campbell here, with the potential that he has, he could be a game changer here for us. So that's what are going to be our selection.
With the 18th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Seattle Seahawks select Kelvin Banks, tackle, Texas.
Hey, it's Reagan, the GM of the Seahawks. We decided to go with Kelvin Banks Jr. here, the beast left tackle out of Texas. But in this situation, we will be moving him to right tackle. Obviously, we already have Charles Cross, so we solidify our tackles going forward to really set up the run game. And guess what? Kelvin Banks is known as one of the best run blockers in this draft, so it's great for establishing the run with Kenneth Walker, Zach Charbonnet, and our prized new quarterback, Sam Darnold. We'll keep him protected so he can hit those awesome weapons in Cooper Kupp and JSN. So, he just fell into our lap at 18. We're super happy to have him. And guess what? The 12th man, it's going to be a good year in Seattle. Let's go.
With the 19th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers select Trey Amos, defensive back, Ole Miss.
All right. Tampa Bay Buccaneers going to choose Trey Amos in the with the 19th pick in the first round. Todd Bowles, Jason, I think that there's a lot of depth on the defensive side of the ball this year with linebackers, edge rushers, and stuff. So I think they take a chance with Sandra Bullock and that movie where the Ole Miss guy was in there. What was that? The Blind Side. So they're going to take quarterback, try and get some receptions here, turn the ball around a little bit more, and give Baker the defensive side of the ball that he needs, so that way they don't have to put up 30-plus points a game. So let's go, Trey Amos, and pick the ball off and give the defense some points this year, boys.
With the 20th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Denver Broncos select Colston Loveland, tight end, Michigan.
Hey, Alex Findisi here, GM of the Broncos with pick number 20. The Broncos are going to take Colston Loveland. And I think the Broncos take Colston Loveland here because, first of all, some of the running backs being gone off the board, like Omarion Hampton and Ashton Jeanty. I think the Broncos find their second tight end. It gives them a lot of versatility with 12 personnel, and Sean Payton loves that. And I think that he provides another weapon for Bo Nix, a young quarterback who can use all the weapons he can get. And I think that the Broncos, with Evan Ingram now, I mean, yes, they did make that signing, but Evan Ingram has a tendency to not be healthy all the time. And that was seen on the Giants, on the Jaguars. So I think that he just gives them that solidification of another great player on that offense to help them continue to elevate themselves so they can win those playoff games going forward. And I just think that that Loveland provides that extra oomph for them to win those games. And even if things were to go wrong, I think Loveland could even step into that tight end one role and be pretty seamless, if not better than Evan Ingram right away. So I think they go Loveland here, given the board that are being taken, and I think they're very happy with this pick because they can still address running back in the second round or third round with all the great running backs going in this draft.
With the 21st pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Pittsburgh Steelers select Kenneth Grant, defensive tackle, Michigan.
All right. Noah Khan, a.k.a. Wayner here, coming in with pick number 21 for the Steelers. We're going to go with Kenneth Grant, big boy in the middle. The Steelers love to set themselves up in free agency where they don't have to go chasing after a position. So you saw that with the DK Metcalf trade, the Darius Slay acquisition to be a stopgap guy at the CB2 position. And they set them up to be very flexible on draft night. So what they're going to do in Cam Hayward's twilight of his career is pick up another big man to shoot the A-gaps. After the Ravens ran for 299 yards on us in the wild card playoff round, we got to do something about that. So Kenneth Grant would be very happy walking away with guys like Derek Harmon or Walter Nolan as well, but very happy with my pick.
With the 22nd pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, LA Chargers select Matthew Golden, wide receiver, Texas.
Matthew Golden. Let's get Justin Herbert a weapon. The best weapon he's had, best athlete he's had is like Guyton. Ladd McConkey's great. He's going to be great over the middle, short game. Now we got Golden stretching the field. Maybe we get a tight end in the second round, but right now we're worried about getting someone down the field, open the field up for Ladd. Quentin Johnson can do his bullshit on the outside too. But Ladd, Golden, maybe a running back round 2. If not, Najee will do the job. Stretch the field. We got Diggs, crossers, Ladd, field stretching athlete. Give Jay Herbo weapons, let him cook. I get it. We want to run the ball here. We got to air it out. Jay Herbo's a top 5 arm in the league. Let him slang that thing. Matthew Golden.
With the 23rd pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Green Bay Packers select Mykel Williams, defensive end, Georgia.
Packers taking Mykel Williams, it just made all the sense in the world. I mean, he's available right there. There's already been rumors about getting an edge. People were talking about Max Crosby coming to Green Bay. He's already had a lot of connections that he can play on. Keyshawn Nixon is there. Josh Jacobs, obviously, another coach on the Packers. Max Crosby talks fell through. Still looking for an edge. Mykel Williams is available. He's looking like he might be that kind of guy for us. Packers historically, 12 out of the 14 last first picks have been defense. Mykel Williams looking like an edge right there that has a lot of upside. He's got long arms. He's explosive. Packers love drafting the Bulldogs. We've gotten 4 Bulldogs in the last 4 years or something like that. So Mykel Williams, that edge out of Georgia is just looking way too tempting for the Packers front office.
With the 24th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Minnesota Vikings select Nick Amenwori, safety, South Carolina.
Hey guys, Josh here, GM of the Vikings. We went with Nick Amenwori because we slacked, in my opinion, our defensive backs. We needed some big help, and he's a phenomenal safety. That's what we were looking at, and we really needed either safety in the corner. So for us, seeing what he did, especially in the combine, it was huge. He's a pretty good size too. It's kind of fitting what we need. So that was really our goal, was to secure that kind of position, and he fit the whole thing.
With the 25th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Houston Texans select Josh Connerly Jr., tackle, Oregon. Go Ducks.
Hey guys, Austin here, GM of the Houston Texans. So I was really torn between a wide receiver and an O lineman, but honestly, we needed help at the O line. We got rid of Laramie Tunsil. We did sign some guys, but I think we really needed more help on the line. So the Houston Texans select Josh Cornerly Jr. Honestly, I think he's a stud. He only allowed 2 sacks in his college career. And I think he'll help CJ Stroud from not being sacked 52 times. So Josh Connerly Jr., welcome to the Texans.
With the 26th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the LA Rams select Josh Simmons, tackle, Ohio State. Go Buckeyes. Congrats on that natty chip.
This is GM Light here. I'm talking about Josh Simmons, fucking beast of a human being out of Ohio State. We're talking about the Rams. He's going to be a beast, an insane human being, a maniac. He will be the football player of all time. That's what we're talking about here. We're talking about great stuff, all right? Greatest football player I've ever seen. He leaves his heart out on the field like nobody else. I love it. I love to see it. All right, this is what we're talking about.
With the 27th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Baltimore Ravens select James Pierce Jr., linebacker, Tennessee.
All right, this is Chad Singleton here, picking for the Baltimore Ravens. We've decided to go with James Pierce Jr. I think that the Ravens are going to decide to go with him just because he's a great rotational guy. First year, we need more edge rushers. You can never have too many edge rushers or, pass rushers. And I think that he could end up becoming a huge Raven in the future that will thrive underneath a rookie deal. Someone that, can be seen around for 3 plays or 3 down rusher eventually. So hoping and hopefully he will grow into that. And I think that that's a great pick and something that the Ravens could really benefit from.
With the 28th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Detroit Lions select Donovan Azarique, defensive end, Boston College.
So they ran out of Detroit, and with the 28th pick in the NFL Draft, the Lions are going to select Donovan Azaruka. And Donovan Azaruka, he's a great player out of Boston College. He's the edge. We need somebody to be with Hutch. Hutch really doesn't have anybody helping him out right now, so we need somebody to step up, and I think Donovan Azaruka is most ready NFL player right now in that at the 28th pick. So that's why I think Donovan Azaruka would be a great pick. 16 and a half sacks last season, ACC Defensive Player of the Year, coached by Bill O'Brien, who's been around plenty of NFL talent. Said Donovan Azaruka is one of the best players out of that program that he's ever seen. So hearing that from Bill O'Brien makes me think that Donovan Azaruka is going to be a great player for the Detroit Lions coming up. Lions are in a win-now scenario, made it to the playoffs last year, had an unfortunate loss to the Commanders. We need a rookie who's going to make an impact immediately, and that's why I think he's the right guy for it. And, yeah, pairing him up with Hutch will help our defense out a lot. Our offense is great where it's at right now, so we just need that defensive piece.
With the 29th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Washington Commanders select Malachi Starks, safety, Georgia. Go Bulldogs.
Adam Peters, move aside. Nick Walmart stepping up, GM of the Commanders here. And in this mock draft, you know, in real life, I'm predicting a trade back out of 29, out of the first round, most likely. But in this one specifically, I saw Malachi Starks from Georgia, safety, staring me dead in the face at 29. I have to pull the trigger. We lost Jeremy Chin in the offseason. We did pick up Will Harris as a replacement, iffy replacement. We have Quan Martin, who's okay, solid rotational piece. But to beef up that back end of the secondary with a stud like Malachi Starks would be huge for Washington moving forward, and a nice piece for Dan Quinn.
With the 30th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Buffalo Bills select Walter Nolan, defensive tackle, Ole Miss.
What's up, Felters? Dan here for the Buffalo Bills. We're going to be selecting Walter Nolan, defensive tackle from Ole Miss. I like this selection because I think it's something we can reasonably get. We have pick number 30, and I think it's something that could still reasonably be around for us, provided we do want to use our round one pick. I think in particular, Daquan Jones on our defensive line is aging. He's 33. He's entering his final year. We're going to need somebody to replace him. We're going to need somebody to help bolster the talent of Ed Oliver, who's really one of our only, if not the only, bona fide defensive tackle we have on that line. Everybody knows defensive tackle was a weakness for us last year, and we need somebody that's young that we can build around and that has that upper echelon athletic ability, even if he is a little inconsistent at the moment. In particular, we also did sign two free agent defensive tackles in Michael Hoyt and Larry Ogunjobi, which everybody knows, unfortunately, have both been suspended for the first 6 games of the season, which makes it ever more important for us to hit on defensive tackle in the draft, particularly, as I said, a young guy that we can actually build around rather than just a rental.
With the 31st pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Kansas City Chiefs select Derek Harmon, defensive tackle, Oregon. Go Ducks.
What's up, guys? Colin here, GM of the Chiefs. We're going to be taking Derek Harmon, a defensive tackle from Oregon. We feel that throughout the playoffs, especially in the Super Bowl, we lack some pressure on Jalen Hurts, and only having Chris Jones up front, we believe Derek Harmon can bring some more pressure to that defensive line and get after the quarterback a little bit more and have some more success on the defense. We're looking at upgrading at tackle, guys like Josh Connerly, but he went off the board ahead of us, so we just went for value here and took Derek Harmon with our selection.
With the 32nd pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Philadelphia Eagles select Maxwell Harrison, defensive back, Kentucky.
What's up, fellas? This is Mike here, picking 32 overall for the Philadelphia Eagles, and we are going to select Maxwell Hairston, cornerback from Kentucky. With the departure of Darius Slay, and a couple other members in our secondary, along with Chauncey Gardner-Johnson and some guys up front. I think this is a important pick to continue to build a strong secondary alongside of Cooper DeJean, Quinyon Mitchell, keeping Nakobe Dean, Zach Bond, Reed Blankenship. I think the Vic Fangio defense is going to utilize Maxwell Hairston. He's a guy who gets around the football. He's always he's an aggressive cornerback. He reminds me a lot of a couple of guys in Dallas, like Trayvon Diggs. I think he's going to be an important outside corner for the Philadelphia Eagles, along with Cooper Jean in the slot. I think they're going to complement each other pretty well. And it was tough here not to go one of those receivers like Buka or Burden, but I think that this pick overall is going to get us into a better position long term. I think that's the way Howie likes to work, and I think Harrison's going to be an important member of the Eagles secondary for years to come.
All right, everyone. That wraps up the 32-man Around the Felt mock draft. We had a lot of fun doing it. Thank you to our wonderful commissioner, Drock, and then the other 32 guys that made the picks. It was a lot of fun for us to do. So if you're a fan of one of these teams, let us know in the comments if you like the pick that the owner made. Where would you have gone differently? I mean, I know a lot of these guys went with, what was available. So a lot of fun doing it, but make sure to drop a comment because we put a lot of work into doing this. So thank you.